If I'm gonna be crunched for time, I might as well have a whole other thing to do. I don't know. It's definitely feeling goopy. It's getting too late, and I can't deal with this tonight. And that was all I got done. Today is February 11th in the evening, and I really want to make a Valentine's dress for my baby. So basically that gives me 2 days to make a dress. It isn't a lot of time, but I really want to do it. I think I might use Little Lizard King Katie. I'm gonna use this as the main skirt, and then I have this eyelet with hearts on it that I think would be really cute for the underskirt. I'd also like to do hand embroidery on it because if I'm gonna be crunched for time, I might as well have a whole other thing to do. So I think I'm gonna do this light pink with tiny pink hearts for the bodice. And I think this will be a good one to embroider on. I'm gonna do the double flutter sleeves and use the pink and the red for the flutters. That's what I'm thinking right now. But there's not much time. This video is probably gonna go up after Valentine's Day because I'm gonna be so rushed to get this done in time for Valentine's Day. There's no way I can also edit it and upload this video. So you'll probably be seeing this a little bit after the fact. But I am having a goal of finishing this dress in 2 days. Basically, I'd like to get it done the evening of the 13th. All right, let's get to it. I just got all of my pattern pieces cut out, and I had to swap the white for the red. So the red is the underskirt now, and the white eyelet is the bottom of the double flutter. I just did not have very much of this eyelet, a lot less than I thought I did. I cut out a rectangle a little bit bigger than my pattern piece for the bodice, and I'm going to use Sticky Fabri-Solvi. It's a printable embroidery stabilizer that has like a adhesive sheet on the back so you can stick it on like a sticker. And then when you're done, it's water soluble so you can just wash it away. So that is what I'm going to be prepping next. I printed this pattern off just using my phone, and the test square definitely came out bigger than an inch. So that wouldn't be great if it was just a normal pattern. But since it's just an embroidery pattern and you can resize it as you want, and it's more just personal preference instead of how well it fits, I think it's going to be fine. I just put my bodice lining piece over the top to see how it would look, and there'd be about a ½ inch at the bottom, ½ inch at the top. So I think that this looks really good. I'm just going to cut this out. I'm going to take bodice, making sure it's right side up, and stick my lining piece underneath so I can see kind of generally the shape that I'm looking for, where I want to place this. Place this on here and choose some threads. That's it. That is ready to stitch. I didn't find any red thread that I own to match this, so I'm going to try to match this color right here, and I found this. So these are the two I'm going to go with. I'm going to use purple for the flowers and this for the French knots.
Time on stuff that doesn't really matter, while wishing for something better. I try to fix things that weren't broken, misunderstand.
It's now the afternoon of the 12th, and this is where I got to last night with my embroidery. So I'm going to try to finish that this afternoon and then do my sewing this evening. I am definitely not a super experienced embroidery artist. I don't know what the right word is. I don't have a ton of experience with embroidery. I definitely know the basic stitches, and I've done a lot of cross stitch. I feel like so often my French knots end up in tangles. These first ones that I did went all crazy. And now I'm struggling again. I'm pretty convinced the French knots can just smell fear. Oh no. If you have any tips or tricks that you know of, let me know in the comments. It might seem crazy to do hand embroidery on a project when I have so little time to finish it, but I only have time to sew basically in the evenings after my kids are in bed. And it's just so much easier logistically to work on hand embroidery during the day while I'm watching them. So it doesn't really cut into my actual sewing time at all to do the hand embroidery. I mean, I am working on it tonight, so I guess it is. But it's just easier for me right now to do hand embroidery than to get time to sit at the sewing machine. That is why I'm adding embroidery to a project that I barely have time to finish as it is. That was the last one. I got my embroidery all done. I'm gonna wash the stabilizer off. I'm not really sure if the stabilizer I put on the back is water soluble or not. I'm just gonna test a little corner and see what happens. It's definitely feeling goopy and like it's gonna be water soluble. I don't really want to dissolve all of this because it's gonna make a huge sticky mess. So I'm gonna trim off as much as I can carefully. I really like doing these kinds of sewing things where I try to complete something in time. I think it's fun. It's low risk. Like, I don't finish in time. It's not going to be the end of the world. She'll just have her Valentine's Day dress a day or two late, and she's not going to know the difference. Nobody else is going to know the difference. Nobody else cares. But I care. I think it's fun. So I want to do it. I want to see if I can get this done in time. Like setting my own goals that are just important to me. I like to use lukewarm water for this. Maybe not even lukewarm, just like room temperature. I used warm once on a white project. I did like a little sample piece before I did a white blessing dress. And it turned the thread green. So after that, I've always printed with a lighter ink setting, like draft setting, because it puts less ink down. And most of the patterns are not, they don't use a strong line, so it shouldn't be a concern, but I'm just paranoid about it after that. I'm just gonna let this soak and do its thing. Means I can't really work on the bodice tonight, but the skirt is gonna take a long time, so I'm gonna get as much done with the skirt as I can tonight, and then I can do the bodice tomorrow after this is all dissolved, and then spend the night drying. Got myself all set up for a productive night of sewing. I brought this little cutting mat over, got my Pinking Cheers rubber blade and all my cut out pattern pieces. I use this hot pink thread. Got my instructions and my ironing board, so I shouldn't have to move my chair, and I should just be able to get a bunch done.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious seas.
I just realized I'm attaching this ruffle to the wrong side of the skirt, so I think I just need to be done for tonight. It's getting too late, and I can't deal with this tonight. Welcome to the next day, 13th. I got this ruffle unpicked. Move it to the right side. I got it almost all the way sewn on before I realized that it was being sewn to the wrong side of the skirt. I'm at the point in this project where I'm telling myself that I am so close and practically done, but I don't know that that's true. I have the underskirt almost done. I need to finish enclosing the ruffle seam, and it's already hemmed, so it is really close to done. I need to fix the ruffle on this, put a placket on them, and gather them both together. And then I have the whole bodice to do, so maybe I'm not that close to being finished. Here's the completed embroidery now that it's now that all the stabilizer is washed out and it's clean and dry, I think it looks so pretty. So we'll need to cut out the bodice front from that. I just got this ruffle repinned on, so I'm gonna sew that. When I have smaller pieces like these flutter sleeves, I will use hem tape. Stick it on the right side, top off. And then because it's 1/4 of an inch, we need to fold it 1/4 of an inch and just use that as my guide. Fold it, and then it holds itself in place. I don't do this for the bottom of skirts, especially skirts with ruffles, because they get so long. I'd use up so much hem tape, but it really is a nice way to hem things. And then I'll always finish by top stitching it down. You can't use it and then not sew it down. It has to be sewed down. It's just like a temporary base. Valentine's Day is not necessarily my favorite holiday for a romantic holiday, but I think it's a really fun holiday for celebrating with kids, covering everything in hearts and doing fun activities and making dresses that are a little bit crazy and over the top. Nap time today was so much shorter than I needed it to be. So I got these ruffle sleeves hemmed, and I fixed the ruffle on this skirt, and that was all I got done. So I'm going to finish up the skirt, really hoping that'll be so quick. And then I'm going to get to work on the bodice. The construction on these sleeves is so interesting. You sandwich the top flutter between the two pieces and understitch it, which is where you sew the seam allowance to the lining. Now turn it so that the flutter is upside down, and I'm going to add the bottom flutter to the bottom of this sleeve. Now that we have that, we're going to roll these up and do a little burrito roll. Where we roll this, we roll the other sleeve piece up, knead it, and then we're going to sew along here and turn it right side out, and we'll have a sleeve. Here's what it looks like after it's been sewn and I trimmed the seam allowance, and this is what it looks like after I turned it right sides out. I think that's so interesting how this is the sleeve, the main sleeve, if you didn't add flutters, and then the flutters are sewn into the different edges. It's just not how I expected it to be. I think it's so fun to learn new techniques from buying patterns. It's a lot of the ways that I have learned how to sew is by getting new patterns and doing the techniques that I've never done before, and just learning by trying things out and following the pattern instructions. That's why I always read the pattern instructions, even if I think I know how I could put it together, because I just learned so much from reading how the pattern designer wanted to put it together. So cute. Okay, time to put it into the bodice. I've got the bodice done. It is so cute. I love how different the construction is from other things that I've done. The sleeves are just so unique and so cute. Done with the skirt, I just need to gather it up. Got the gathering threads in. Gather it up and attach it to the bodice. Hand sew it. And then I'll be done. That's it. I am so close. Yay, I'm gonna finish.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out.
It's just after 11 o'clock on the 13th, and I just finished. I'm so excited. I am just so happy with it, and it is everything that I hoped it would be. I am really impressed with this pattern. I'll leave a link to it in the description. I'm not affiliated with Little Elizabeth King at all, but I do love their patterns. I've used a lot of them making clothes for my baby. But I love this double skirt. I love the embroidery. It's also their pattern. Just this dress pattern in general. I love the really unique sleeves and the way that they're constructed. Got this cute bow on the back. I am just so happy with it. Thanks for watching this video. If you came here from watching my bobbin lace videos, my next video is going to be my bobbin lace sampler. So that'll be coming out next week. Thanks. Bye.
Take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming.